Listen, that is the sound of the courthouse mob baying for blood. And yet, if it wasn't for the timely intervention of Sir James Long, a local magistrate, the town of Malmesbury would have sent 14 poor souls to endure such prejudice, spite and fear. As it is, 4 women will enter this bear pit accused of witchcraft, and they will hope and pray that the jury really are honest, godly men. It is March 1672, and Salisbury Court is full of the families who accuse these 4 women.
The whole town knew of the witches' coven. How could they not? Hovel born and bred, scratching and scrabbling in the hedgerows, begging when their charms and potions could not be sold, being obnoxious to all the good folk of the town.
Arraigned with Elizabeth Peacock, widely believed to be the leader of the Malmesbury Coven, are her sister Judith Witchell and 2 others, Anne Tilling and Elizabeth Mills. And I, Sir Richard Rainsford, must adhere to the letter of the law, the Witchcraft Act of 1604, in all its terrible certainty. Order, order, order! Let this court come to order. I, Judge Sir Richard Rainsford, preside here, and no other. Elizabeth Peacock, you are charged with the killing of the children Marjorie Neal and Mary Sharp by witchcraft, and with the felonious laming by witchcraft of Thomas Webb and Marjorie Brown. You are also jointly accused with your sister Judith Witchell of killing by witchcraft 8 geldings and 7 mares, valued at £150, being the property of Henry Denning. Elizabeth Peacock, how do you plead?
I plead ignorance, Your Honour. Ignorance of why I have been brought to trial accused of witchcraft again. Webb had no evidence 2 years ago, and she has no evidence now. And yet here I am at the pointy finger of Anne Tilling, she who slobbers at the hem of Mary Webb's skirts like a dog waiting to fetch. Does not death hover over all our shoulders? People work hard, and death comes easily, and to the children most of all. As for those animals owned by Denning, kept on his land, looked after by his men, and yet apparently bewitched by me and my sister, what nonsense! Denning holds his herd faster than he does his family, yet none of them are given proper care and attention. Look to the poor feed. Those animals died from want of care, not by any ministrations by me or any other. I am no devil. I consort with no devils. I harm no one, least of all young folk. I be no witch.
Order! Order in the court, or you will all be expelled. Judith Witchell, you stand accused of feloniously laming Thomas Webb by witchcraft. You are jointly accused with your sister Elizabeth Peacock of killing 8 geldings and 7 mares. Judith Witchell, how do you plead?
Plead? I don't understand, good sir. I be Judith Witchell, sister to Elizabeth Peacock and Mary Brown. Look at me. I'm all bent and twisted with age and hardship. But I'm just a poor widow woman. I got no husband to protect me, and my son's hiding away because of the anger of the townsfolk. I'm all alone. In my green days, I was Goody Witchell, one of 3 called upon to bring new life into this world and to help those passing out of the world. Oh, I be so mazy, my mind doth wander widdershins. Better folk than me have said that I have done wrong, but I don't remember these happenings. I knows the little one, Thomas Webb, a spiteful child, and we have had words, he and I. He be no good, and I told him so.
He does have grievous fits of swooning, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day. He is possessed by something evil, something wrought by the power of these wicked women.
But what is happening? I don't understand why Aunt Helen should say these things about me. Yes, I am one of 3 sisters, and I knows the way of the woods and the hedgerows. But I ain't been a witch.
Elizabeth Mills, how do you plead?
I am poor but honest. I'm foully accused by those who call themselves my betters. 'Tis true, I sold portions and salves when asked, but everything within them can be found in the woods and hedgerows. I do not know the Peter's child. I have seen Alice Webb once, and that from afar. My husband, God bless his soul, was taken from me sudden 4 years ago. We were poor then, and I am poorer now. Thomas left me but little when he passed, £6 in all, and that in sticks of furniture. He's wearing apparel and some timber. Yes, I knows Lizzie Peacock. She be good friend to me. Sometimes we do go a-gathering wayside plants to make our potions. I know Mary Webb too. Who would not? Always in the High Street and about town, pointing her finger and whispering in the heads of gullible enough to listen. She be full of melancholy, that woman. Her fear of what she did to poor Goody Orchard has rotted her from within.
Looking back, I see now that the misfortunes that befell my father and then me and my husband had their beginnings in the curse Goody Orchard must have made as she was led to the gallows. Was not the mischief laid bare when Telling confessed to having been persuaded by Peacock and Witchell to harm my son Thomas by causing his fits with the help of the spirits they had brought upon him?
So many of our children are taken from us, but their deaths cannot be laid at my door. I be no witch.
Anne Telling, having already confessed your guilt, you stand accused of feloniously laming Thomas Webb by witchcraft. Anne Telling, how do you plead?
All my life I have battled against hardship and despair. Were it not for the kindness of others, I'd have perished long ago. Oh, I knows how to pick things that grows wild in the hedgerows and the forest, but these do not fail you as much as a good bowl of pottage and some bread. There are many in old Malmesbury, like me, and many more the length and breadth of this realm. Master Webb did look after me and my William, and gave us work making gloves. But his wife, Mary Webb, now she's a strange woman, always sees the worst in people, suspicious of everything and everyone. Some folks reckon she's not right in the head, always going on about wicked people reaching out from the grave and seeking revenge. She has a tongue in her that would lash the skin off your bones. When she's angry, it's terrible to behold. Frightens me, she does. And when she and the master comes out of that shop that day, eyes blazing and voices ringing like bells, I falls to my knees and agrees with everything she says. I confess there are witches, and that I know this because they persuaded me to join them. My wits fly away and I no longer know who I am or anything.
Order! Order in the court. Let it be recorded that 3 of the accused denied the charges, with the exception of Anne Tilling, who has previously confessed her guilt to the Alderman of Malmesbury and the local magistrates.
What an uproar there was once the sentence had been handed down, that Elizabeth Peacock and Elizabeth Mills should be found not guilty on all accounts, inflamed passions both in the court and the town itself. The families, especially the Webbs, were incensed. I thought poor Mary Webb was going to have a seizure. Such was her choleric anger that she had to be carried from the court by friends. I did wonder if Tilling and Witchell had been sacrificed to satisfy the mob, but Tilling, for certain, had claimed to be part of the coven and so was damned from the very beginning. Judge Rainsford was right to hang those who had convicted themselves out of their own mouths. I spoke privately with Judge Rainsford after the trial and strongly advised him that Peacock should be detained for her own protection. He was pleased to take my advice, and she was kept safely in Salisbury jail for some weeks after.